the question is, why are people not taking action in your Facebook group, in your audience, on your email list? What is it that you are doing wrong that is stopping people from taking action? Now, this started off pretty harsh, right? Like, what are you doing wrong? But the fact of the matter is if you were doing something right, they would be taking action. And so what I need to kind of point out to you today is that you need to recognize that you need to do something different to how you're currently doing it in order to help your audience start to become an action-taking bunch of amazing, awesome people. So you can actually start monetizing your audience. So the biggest reason why people aren't taking action is because you aren't addressing the reason why people do take action. And one of the biggest reasons people take action is because they are being led to do so. And that means that you have to step into becoming a leader. People feel moved to take action when they have some kind of aspirational connection with whatever it is that you're doing. Okay, so some of the easiest ways to work out how or what you need to be doing in order to become that leader is to look at two things. Firstly, look at your audience's heroes. Who is it that they admire, and what qualities and attributes do those people have that make them excited, in awe, and follow those people? Okay. Then secondly, look at who is it that you admire? Who do you aspire to be? What qualities and attributes do those people have that you want to adopt? That you know that you would love to be like. This isn't about copycatting, this isn't about becoming that person. Because at the end of the day, if you can recognize something in somebody else, it means that you have the ability already and have already demonstrated it in some way or some form already. So you already hold this inside of you. All it is about noticing these things and harnessing them and really stepping into that newer version of you. Because you do have to change. Like I said at the beginning, you're going to have to become somebody new. You're going to have to do something differently to how you've currently been doing it. Otherwise, people would already be taking action. So the challenge for you today is to write down all those qualities and attributes of the people that your audience look up to and of the people that you look up to and admire. Write all of those things down and start looking at ways about how you can become that person. How would that newer version of you behave? How can you start adopting those qualities and demonstrating them in how you show up? And this is the best way that you can do. So I want you to kind of almost meditate on these things before you go ahead and show up live, before you write your email. The prep before you do the prep for any form of writing, any form of visibility, is actually thinking, okay, so who do I need to be? Okay, and at the beginning it does kind of feel like that. It feels a bit kind of like, who do I need to be? And it feels a bit of a struggle, right? But it will eventually become natural. And the more you do something, the more a habit is formed and the easier it becomes. And you just naturally move into that space. And it's gonna feel uncomfortable. It's gonna feel uncomfortable because you've behaved differently yesterday to how you decided to behave today. Yesterday you might have showed up in the friend zone, you may have been a bit ditzy, you may have been, a little bit unsure of yourself, perhaps not as confident. But when you start stepping into that leader role and you start thinking about, okay, so fine, I am the expert, I am the authority, and this is who you need to become. You need to become an authority on your topic in order to help your audience take action. Because unless they believe that you are somebody to follow, like we've all had that friend, right, who we liked and it was cool to maybe hang around with them for a bit, but we would never do anything that they suggested. Perhaps we would never follow them in their life's path because we're like, whoa, that really isn't kind of where I want to go. Or maybe they're just a bit wishy-washy and we don't really take their opinion on board. But then you get those super confident people who you think, wow, you are amazing. Yeah, I'm going to go with you there. Yeah, I'm going to follow you. Yeah, that sounds amazing. And I want to be like this person. This person is someone who I aspire to be like. And therefore you follow them. And so you have to become that person that they want to follow. And so ask yourself, Who is it they want to follow? What is that leader that I need to be in order to help them step up and take action? Because at the end of the day, you know that you've got a solution that's going to help them. Why are you holding back? Why are you not showing them and demonstrating to them what life could be like once they take action? But in order to help somebody take action, we have to become an authority on what we want them to take action in. It's really, really important. This is not about being pompous. It's not about lording over people. It's about owning your awesomeness. And that's all this is asking you to do, is noticing that awesomeness, looking at the qualities and attributes that go with that awesomeness, and stepping into that role. And when you're able to do that, you're able to become a leader, and leaders have a following. And it won't happen like that, right? You will be a kind of, I guess, a lone nut to begin with, okay? Someone who is standing on their own. Someone who is kind of like, who feels like they're completely on their own, standing butt naked, very vulnerable, and it will feel uncomfortable. It will feel totally uncomfortable. But you have to realize that you have to be brave enough, you have to have the courage to do that before people are going to start taking action. So write down all those things that you think that you need to be stepping into. Start adopting that. Get uncomfortable. Show up as the person that you want to show up as. This isn't about showing up as somebody who you dislike. This is about showing up as the person who you want to show up as. And start leading. Start being the authority. Start being the expert. Start being somebody that you would follow. And that is my biggest tip for you today. If you want your audience to take action, you need to become a leader. So start adopting the behaviors and the attributes and the qualities of that leader.